Hi everyone and welcome to another video. In today's lesson we're going to learn how to turn your ordinary beanie into a dinosaur. You can use any beanie pattern that you like. I used a double crochet stitch to make this beanie. You are going to need a stitch that is a little bit long because you need to work into the stitch, but you're going to be working sideways, so you're going to be working along the stitch, if that makes sense. I'll show you in the video what to do. I would like to thank my awesome models, my sugar container and my dessert bowl, for looking fantastic in their dinosaur beanie. The designs are endless with this one. You can make the spikes go all the way over the top and down to the front. You can make them halfway, you can make them just a little bit on the top, you can make them just a little bit on the back. You can also add eyes to the front. I will put in a video at the end to show you where you can find out how to make the eyes. These dinosaur spikes can be added to any size beanie. This is for a 2-year-old. You could do it anyway from a preemie all the way up to an adult. So let's get started on this super cute dinosaur beanie. First of all, you're going to want to make a hat. This can be any hat pattern that you like. I'll put a link in for the hat pattern that I have. It doesn't matter what size it is. This is probably going to fit a 2-year-old. It could be anywhere from a preemie up to an adult. You're going to want to grab your hat and lay it flat. If you have a seam that you can see that's noticeable, you want this on the bit where you're going to crochet into. So my seam is there, so I've put that onto the edge and then laid the hat flat. We want to grab our yarn that we want to make our spikes with. I'm going to use a contrasting colour so that you can see it easily. And we want to join it to the edge of our beanie. So where we folded it, we're only going through one layer, go into the stitch, put your yarn over the top of your hook and pull through. You could also use the yarn, if you hadn't cut it off, that was finished to make your border. So what we want to do now is just do a chain stitch if you were joining new yarn. If not, don't worry. This is just to join the yarn in. Pull down at the short piece at the back and that will make it nice and secure. And what we're going to be doing is working into stitches across our beanie. We're going to be picking up the bar or the stitch and just working into, so underneath one of the stitches. So to make our spike, what we want to do, and make sure you're just going under one stitch, not two, otherwise it's going to pucker up. You're going into the same stitch where you joined your yarn, making sure it's just under one. Going into the stitch, and we're going to make a single crochet. Now we want to make a half double into the same stitch. So that's yarning over, going into the stitch, yarning over, pulling up a loop, got 3 on your hook, yarning over, pulling through 3. Now we want to work a double crochet. So we know how to do that. Yarning over, going into the stitch, yarning over, pulling up a loop. We've got 3 on our hook, yarning over, pulling through 2, yarning over, pulling through 2. We want to make a longer stitch now, so we want to wrap our hook twice. This is the treble, going into the stitch, yarning over, pulling up a loop. We have 4 loops on our hook, yarning over, pulling through 2, yarning over, pulling through 2, and yarning over, pulling through 2. We want to make a taller stitch again, so we want to wrap it 3 times, going into the stitch, yarning over, pulling up a loop. We have 5 loops on our hook, yarning over, pulling through 2, yarning over, pulling through 2, through 2 and through 2. So now we've got to this height, we want to work our way back down. So we want to repeat the second last stitch that we just did. So it was wrapping twice, going into the same stitch. Pulling through 2, through 2, and through 2. Wrapping once for our double crochet, going into the next stitch. That's through 2 and through 2. The next one was a half, so that's yarning over, going into the stitch. Yarning over, we've got 3 on our hook. Yarning over, going through 3, and the last one is a single crochet back into the same stitch. Yarning over, pulling through, we've got 2, and then pulling through 2. And this creates our dinosaur spike. Now we want to go into the next stitch and work a slip stitch. So it's going into the stitch, yarning over, and then pulling it through that other loop. If you want to get your stitches a bit bigger, maybe use a bigger hook. That's going to make your stitches bigger. Go into the next gap and work a single crochet. And you might want to write these down so you know where you're up to. So it's a single, and then a half, pulling through all 3, a double, which is wrapping once, pulling through 2, pulling through 2, a treble, which is wrapping twice. You've got 4 on your hook, going through 2, through 2, and through 2. Let's wrap it 3 times, going into the same stitch. Now you've got 5 loops, yarning over, pulling through 2, 2, 2 and 2, and now you work your way back down. So it was a single, a half double, a double, which is wrapping once, a treble, which is wrapping twice, and a double treble, which is wrapping 3 times. Now we're going back down because we want to get down to our shorter piece. So that's, we've wrapped 3 times on this one. This one we wrapped twice because we're imitating what we got on the other side. So it's wrapping twice. You're always pulling through 2. Next one wrapping once, because that's our double. And next one's wrapping once, and it's a half double. And then a single. Going to the next stitch. And then working a slip stitch. You could do a single crochet instead of a slip stitch, completely up to you. There we have our spikes. And you're going to repeat this all the way around, just making sure that you've got it laid flat and you're working around the outside of your beanie. So I'll show you how to do one more, and then we'll catch up when we finish. So into the next stitch, next bar across, going into the stitch, working a single crochet, and a half double, a double, so it's wrapping once again, pulling through 2 and 2, a treble, which is wrapping twice, and through 2, through 2, and through 2, wrapping 3 times, 1, 2, and 3, going into the same stitch, completing that one. So we wrapped it 3 times, we need to go back down to 2, wrapping twice, wrapping once, wrapping once again because it's a half, so we only do the very first part of the stitch, going through all loops there instead of 2, and one more is a single. Next stitch, work a slip stitch. If you find these are too puckered up and they won't sit up straight like that, when you do your slip stitch you can maybe skip that first stitch and go into the next one. You won't know if it's going to pucker until you've done a couple like I have. Mine seems to be laying reasonably flat, so I won't have to worry. But if you do get them all sort of squished up, skip a stitch before you do your slip stitch. And then, so if you skip one, you'd go into there. When you'd work the next bit, you'd skip the next stitch and then work into the next one. You can do your spikes all the way around, over the top and down to the other side, but you know what? I think I'm going to leave mine like that. I think that looks really cute. And to bring this beanie to life, so to speak, you could make some eyes to put on the front. I have an owl beanie video. The pattern was designed by Brooke from Perth. Awesome pattern. And the eyes bring the beanie to life. I will put a link in so you guys can go and check out the video. It will show you how to make the eyes. If you don't want to watch the whole video, what you do is you do the first 3 rounds and you change colour each round, and that will give you some eyes. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and don't forget to share your creations on our Facebook page. Just go over to Facebook, search for Bob Wilson 123 and you should be able to find us. We have a great community over there. There's over 800 people over there that are sharing ideas, they're sharing patterns, photos, day-to-day life. It's a really, really great page. So I hope to see you guys there. If not, till next time, happy crochet.